Hey, what's up? Hank Klinger here. I think you guys can see me. This video is for my buddy Kyle Petty, who wanted me to do another video here on meditation. I meditate a lot. I'm a big advocate of it. For those of you who aren't really spiritual, who don't feel like, think meditation's a joke or whatever, you can look at it from a different light. Meditation is basically deep contemplation, deep thinking, deep planning, relaxation, really. Relaxation of the body, of the mind, of everything. It helps to dissolve self-limiting beliefs, fears, anxieties, worries, and aversions of every kind. And what it really does is it puts you in the moment. It focuses you in the moment, which is all we really have. Most people, their mind runs so much that they're constantly having regrets of the past, or they're having fears of the future. And while it's important to always consider the past and consider the future, it's important to not let them affect you emotionally. When the mind is used correctly, it's one of the most powerful tools, or the most powerful tool known to man. So when you're thinking of the past, you want to look so you don't make the same mistakes, but you don't want to feel it again. Future, you want to plan ahead, see different angles and opportunities, obstacles, and how you overcome them. But again, you don't want to have the fear or feeling of it. And this is where meditation really comes into play, because it allows you to dissolve those fears and those anxieties. And it's really just deep breathing and relaxation. Of course, there is other forms of meditation. You do walking meditations, sitting, typical breathing meditations. There is, a lot of people work out like myself. High intensity workouts really focus you in the moment, and definitely a form of meditation. Sometimes jobs, you can meditate while you're doing your dishes if you want. But basically what it comes down to is learning to control your breathing. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. If people can learn to focus on their breathing for 3 months, it'll change your life forever. I did that when I quit using heroin. I literally focused on my breathing all day long, every day, for months and months and months, to help silence the mind, because I had just so many crazy thoughts that were starting to surface, because it was the first time I was sober. And you can use this meditation to really overcome a lot of old past issues, whether it's abuse or addiction or whatever it is, or fears of the future, whether it's rejection or failure. And there are different stages in meditation. Like, I'll go into visualization a little bit here as well. But for me, it depends what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I go to really silence the mind, and by doing that, you really focus on your breathing. I just sit like this. I don't do all the crazy stuff like this too often, because it can be kind of uncomfortable. You do want to sit with your back and spine lined and erect as possible, because what it does is allows more oxygen and blood and spinal fluid to flow from your brain down to the rest of your body. And it really allows for the full expansion of your lungs. And as I always say, breathe down to your gut, breathe down to your balls, all the way down. And basically, you can do it with your eyes open if you want. Sometimes it's more comfortable for people in the beginning. But I typically close my eyes for at least the first few minutes. And basically, when you're starting, you're probably only going to be able to do this for 2 or 3 minutes at a time. Sometimes now I'll do meditations for hours, go into trances, visualizations, and all that stuff. But basically, you sit here, and you really start to feel your body, feel the aliveness of your body, your heart, and your lungs, and your skin maybe tingling a little bit. And you really start breathing in through your nose, deep breaths all the way down, and then exhaling through your mouth. And a good way to do this in the beginning is to visualize the different points. You can either focus on your diaphragm, or you can focus on your nose and your mouth, but to visualize the air, which is essentially the life coming into you, and then the negative coming out of you as you exhale. And what it does is it really helps you to focus in the moment, to silence the mind. And as you do this with your eyes closed, you can focus on the back of your eyelids, and you look into the blackness, the nothing. And thoughts are still going to come in, especially when you first start doing this in the beginning, and that's okay. Let them come in, and as they come in, just return to focusing back on your breathing. And you'll find in time that the thoughts will start to become less and less dramatic, less anxious. There'll be less fear, and then you can start really controlling your thoughts. And this can help you get through really hard points in your life, like I was saying. So I'll do that, sit there in silence, because this is honestly what the meditation does, is it puts you into the silence. I always say there's power in silence, there's power in repose. And that's because, as my view on life and the universe is, the silence is everything. The space is everything. Without silence, there's nothing. There couldn't be sound. Without space, there couldn't be matter. There couldn't be objects. And if you believe in like the Big Bang Theory, what was here before the Big Bang? You know, it was nothing. You know, it was silence. And that's where the power comes in. So you really, through meditation, you learn to listen to the silence that's underneath everything, and you learn to appreciate the space, and you see that space is the power, you know, and silence is the power, and that all these objects, they're just matter, you know, and what really matters is inside, what your inner world. And when you can learn to control your inner world, you can change the cause of your life, which will in turn change the effects, because the way it works is that your inner world is the cause, and the universe is a slow effect. You know, if you believe in the law of attraction, or it's, you know, meaningful coincidences, basically, and it's not a spiritual thing, really, it's really a physical thing. As Albert Einstein said, human beings send off vibrational frequencies into the universe. So you learn to match your vibrational frequency to that of the reality that you desire to live, and you can't help but attract that reality. And this isn't philosophy, it's not a theology or religion, it's physics. There can be no other way. And that's the words of Albert Einstein. You know, if you believe in one of the most genius men who's ever lived, even Nikola Tesla said that when men start to think in terms of vibration, frequency, energy, the world's going to transform. And that's what's happening right now, because a lot of people are starting to focus more on meditation, and they're becoming more in touch with their inner world and the things that really matter in life, like peace and abundance, joy, love. And don't get me wrong, aggression has its point in life. But you have to learn how to focus your aggression. You know, and all this comes through meditation. Meditation teaches you how to control your emotions. It teaches you how to control your thoughts. It teaches you how to control self. And as it goes, master self, master your emotions, master your life. You literally look at it as that you are a spirit with a body, and not the other way around. Because the great lie that people have been taught is that we're bodies with spirits, and it's created this fear, greed dichotomy where people think that matter is the substance of the universe, and the reality is that consciousness is the substance of the universe. Meditation puts us in touch with our true consciousness, our true self, and it helps us to relieve stress in our lives so that we can create courage and we can focus on the things that we want and overcome all the things that are holding us back. And as I said, you can do meditation through walking, through doing the dishes, and you'll hear people say, okay, you're starting to get angry or starting to get worried, breathe deep and count to 10. It focuses you back to source, to your inner world. Okay, and now I'm going to get into visualization briefly. I don't want this video to go too long. I'll go deeper into visualization in my next video. But a lot of things I do when I meditate is I visualize, and my visions are crazy, beyond I can even put into words. I mean, they're out of this world. Literally, I visualize myself on different planets and different bodies and different spaces. And a lot of this is because I've seen a lot of crazy things in my life. You know, as a commercial fisherman for 8 years, I spent time in the Amazon with the Iranis, did spirit journeys on ayahuasca. So I've seen a lot of truth. You know, I've seen the spirit that's in everything, that's behind, you know, the so-called veil of matter, the illusion that we all live in, this reality. But what I do is I tend to visualize, this is a good grounding visualization you can do while meditating, is you got the sun up here. The sun is a source of life for us, for energy. And you can visualize the rays of sun going into your body and cleansing your body and feeling it. And really, at one point, you start to visualize the sun within you, because there's a very real sun within man. It's in the solar plexus. It's the source in man that originates all energy, all power from within us. You can see it with a thermal scan. So I really visualize the whole entire universe of worlds within me, you know, the energy coming from the sun, and my solar plexus awakening, which is essentially where your subconscious is, or your subjective mind. So through meditation and visualization, you learn to awaken all of yourself, all of your powers, and you can cast aside all doubt, all fear, all worry. And fear has a purpose to an extent, but I really believe that you can't eliminate fear from your being in the true sense of the word that most people consider fear. You can start to learn and understand fear and turn it into more of a curiosity, as into what happens if I actually do achieve this goal, you know? So these are just different techniques for visualization, for meditation. And start with the simple breathing meditation again. It's just focus on the breathing going in, focus on the back of your eyelids. Listen to the silence underneath the sounds. It'll put you at source. It'll relax you. You can tell just from 2 or 3 breaths, I become more relaxed. I become more centered. you know, and it really helps you to take on life's problems. It can help you overcome anxieties, everything, you know. And then as you progress more and more, you can start going from a few minutes at a time to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30. Meditation is very powerful. As the Dalai Lama said, if every 8-year-old in the world was taught to meditate, we would end world violence within 1 generation. I'm a firm believer in that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on meditation. If you have any questions about it, or you want a specific type of meditation, visualization strategies, concentration, focus, or anything for that matter, shoot me a message on Facebook or send me a message on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoy this. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.